telling Luke to read kind of story. What exactly is a bar member?
A lawyer.
Okay. So
Members of the bar.
Okay, got it.
So, first of all, I'm not a liar. Well, I meant a lawyer. No, I meant a liar. You should never take my word for anything. You should always do your own research. I provided references to aid you in your research, but I don't know everything. So this presentation is going to go through what bar members are, okay? Like the State Bar of Texas, for example, okay? Who they are, where they came from, and what they do. I don't know everything. I'm open to any ideas. I was talking to someone here earlier about the Matrix, and this is a couple shots. I don't know if anybody's who's seen the movie The Matrix. There's 4 types of people you meet in your life. There's the people who try to wake up the slaves. There's the slave masters. There's the people who have no idea they're slaves. And there's the people who like being slaves. Which one are you? Do you really know for sure? Are you who you think you are? If you can see through the illusion, then you are the solution. If the people don't know their basic rights and freedoms, how can they know when or if their rights and freedoms are being infringed? Never forget the men who started this country were marijuana-growing, whiskey-drinking, tax-evading rebels who left their beds at night to shoot at the pigs. All tyranny needs to gain a foothold is for people of good conscience to remain silent. I don't trust the government. I don't trust the medical, pharmaceutical, industrial complex. I don't trust the military industrial complex. I don't trust the mainstream media. I don't trust the bankster criminal cabal that owns the government, owns the medical, pharmaceutical, industrial complex, owns the military industrial complex, and owns the mainstream media. If you call me a conspiracy theorist, then I don't trust you. Government is not reason, it's not eloquence, it is force. Like fire, it's a dangerous servant and a fearful master. A nation that expects to be ignorant and free, if a nation expects to be ignorant and free in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be. So who are attorneys? According to former Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, Earl Warren, between 75 and 90% of all lawyers are either incompetent, dishonest, or both. And I think they're more likely dishonest. Okay? That's why I say I'm not a liar. You got to understand, when a lawyer gets up in court and says anything, he's lying. Okay? Number one, the reason he's lying is he doesn't have any first-hand knowledge of anything. So he's lying just because of that. So don't get me going. But that's why they're liars. Their lips are moving, they're lying. Any problem you're having, and I call them bar member scum, that's the reason I file bar grievances against them. Okay? And I file loads of bar grievances. Matter of fact, I just have a bar grievance against, there's 3 assistant counsel for the Texas Bar Disciplinary Council, the office. There's 3 assistants that have reviewed my bar grievances, and so I just have a bar grievance against them. And I'm getting ready to send it. But so, anyways, and I got a grievance against the chief counsel for the Board of Disciplinary Appeals, too. So, anyways, so we'll see, again. And those ones, I'm going to send to the Supreme Court. I'm going to send it to them, and I don't care what they do with it, because I'm going to send something similar to the Supreme Court, to the Chief Judge of the Supreme Court, and I haven't decided whether it's going to be a nasty gram or whether I'm going to be polite. I might be a nasty gram and tell him that he's supposed to be regulating these bar member scum, and he's not doing it, and he better get off of his ass and start taking care of business. And the last time I sent something to the Chief Judge of the Supreme Court, he resigned. Okay? So, we'll see what happens. Who are attorneys? This is taken from Corpus Juris Secundum, which is a set of books in any law library called Corpus Juris Secundum. There's about 150 volumes. And this is Book 7, Section 4, Attorneys. He is, however, in a sense, an officer of the state with an obligation to the court. That's what an attorney is. His first duty is to the courts and to the public, not to the client. You're paying him how much? He's got no duty to do anything to you. Okay? What do you think these prisons are populated with? They're populated by these bar member scum. Okay? You're going to get me going here. I got to chill out sometimes. I might have to. Hopefully there's other slides in here that kind of, where I can cool off a little bit, because I get going here sometimes. Anyways, his first duty is to the courts and to the public, not to the client. Whenever his duties to his client conflict with those as an officer of the court in the administration of justice, the former must yield to the latter. Clients.
Even if you're paying them?
Huh?
Even if you're paying them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, it gets better. It gets better. We're only started. We're only started. Clients are called wards of court. Did you know that when you hire a lawyer, you're saying, I'm an imbecile?
Pretty much.
You are. You are literally saying that.
Just dating. Oh my God.
A ward of the court is an infant and persons of unsound mind. A ward of the court is an imbecile. A ward of the court is not competent. Everything is about competence and incompetence. That's why they're representing you, because you're not competent to make decisions for yourself. Therefore, the attorney is going to make the decisions for you. There is no such thing as an incompetent sovereign. Do you know who you are? Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. Impropriety persona, in one's own proper person. It's a rule in pleading that pleas to the jurisdiction of the court must be pled impropriety persona, because if pleaded by attorney, they admit the jurisdiction. As an attorney is an officer of the court, he's presumed to plead after having obtained leave, which admits jurisdiction. If you hire an attorney, you cannot challenge jurisdiction. You give them jurisdiction by hiring an attorney. The controlling rule is that absent a knowing and intelligent waiver, no person may be imprisoned for any offense unless he's represented by counsel. So when you hire an attorney, you're saying, I want to
Put me away.
That's right.
Put me away.
Hey Glenn, that's real important. No person may be in prison for any offense.
That's right. When the trial of a misdemeanor starts, that no imprisonment may be imposed, even though the law permits it, unless the accused is represented by counsel. Okay, now what happens is the prosecutor represents you. Okay? So you might not have a lawyer, but that prosecutor, that's why you have bar-grid prosecutor too. You bar-grid them all.
So whenever a person gets put in jail and say, I don't know, somebody to represent you, you don't want it.
Absolutely not. Matter of fact, they try and force you to. That's called a star chamber.
Because then it's just a ticket to jail. For good.
Exactly.
Right.
They want someone from the state to represent you.
Yeah.
Never do that.
Okay, thank you. I had no idea.
You know, all these bar grievances, what's the typical bar grievance pitch that you have? What's the minimum?
Sorry?
What do you normally say in a bar grievance?
Well, I say a bunch of things. I've got a lot of material to cover, and I appreciate the questions. I want questions, but
Everyone's
write me
unique.
down and ask me at the end, because we've got a lot of material to cover, and somebody's coming in and going to be speaking. I've got like 200 slides to go through, and I'm at 19 right now. Okay, so I have some sample bar grievances. There'll be some sample bar grievances under this video on YouTube. So you can go there and read some of them and see the stuff that I bring up. The practice of law cannot be licensed by any state. The practice of law is an occupation of common right. That's the first one's a Supreme Court case, Scherer versus Board of Examiners. Okay, so they sit there and they say, well, are you licensed to practice law? Well, so the first answer to that one is that, is he licensed? I want to see his license. because they don't have licenses either. It's a union dues card is what it is. Their bar card is a union dues card. And get a load of this. A retainer is a sum of money paid by a client to a security attorney's availability to work for the client. The fee paid is considered earned at the time of payment because the attorney is entitled to the money regardless of whether he actually performs any services for the client, and the funds shall not be placed in the attorney's trust account. See, they're just a bunch of thieves. Okay? Don't get me going. You're going to get me going here. Inns of court. This is taken from Black's Law Dictionary, 5th edition. Inns of court, there are certain private unincorporated associations in the nature of collegiate houses located in London and invested with the exclusive privilege of calling men to the bar. Okay, so Inns of court has the exclusive privilege of calling men to the bar. There's an American Inns of Court Foundation. Every state has local Inns of Court chapters. This is the website for the American Inns of Court Foundation. Alexandria, Virginia. I've got exclusive content available on my website and on Patreon.